Coming up on First at 4, lawmakers are looking for solutions to continued unemployment troubles in Kentucky. And we speak with Lieutenant Governor Jacqueline Coleman about a new grant and a plan to bring high-speed internet to more parts of Kentucky.
And the soggy weather has returned to the mountains, and it looks to stick around for a while. I'll have the latest on our wet weather coming up right now at 4:30.
Mountain News First at 4 continues.
Lawmakers still have questions as Kentucky's labor cabinet works to set up a new computer system after months of unemployment issues. That system was overwhelmed when tens of thousands sought benefits when they lost jobs in the early days of the pandemic. Today, there were questions about the status of that system. WYMT's Phil Pendleton reports from the state capitol.
The process to acquire that new $47.5 million unemployment insurance computer system is ongoing. That is taking place while the state continues to work through thousands of backlogged unemployment insurance claims, some that date all the way back to March of last year.
So are we upgrading because we need to or want to?
Labor cabinet officials told Kentucky lawmakers they do in fact need an entirely new system, as the current one that came online more than 40 years ago could not handle the stress when tens of thousands lost jobs in March and April of 2020. That system is so old, current employees don't know how to do certain tasks.
So when something happens with the system and we need a major rework, we have to try to find retired IT staffers because, again, it's just not a coding system that's taught anymore.
State labor officials say they're also using some out-of-state help to take a deep dive into a number of different problems that have plagued the system for months and even going back into last year. That process started earlier this month and will take about 8 weeks to finish. In Frankfort, Phil Pendleton, now back to you.
The task force is planning one more meeting before referring matters for possible legislation. Governor Andy Beshear and Lieutenant Governor Jacqueline Coleman announced Kentucky has been awarded a $1 million federal grant to help expand high-speed internet in the Commonwealth. They believe access to high-speed internet is no longer a luxury, but something every Kentuckian has a right to have, regardless of their zip code.
For the longest time, we kind of viewed connectivity and broadband as a luxury and something that you can have if you're fortunate enough. Well, with where we are right now in the pandemic, it was a necessity to be able to learn, to be able to grow your business, to be able to work from home.
The Commonwealth now has the potential to move to the forefront of broadband expansion nationwide. We'll have more on the funding tonight. A new space in Pikeville is on its way to opening day, hoping to turn up the volume on local voices. WYMT's Buddy Forbes has more about something new that is brewing at Broken Throne.
From the Broken Throne to the Great Hall, a group of local entrepreneurs is expanding on a passion, bringing a new entertainment venue to Pikeville's Main Street. The Great Hall is an extension of Broken Throne's brewery and tap room, which opened in late 2019, just before the pandemic began. But after finding ways to diversify and cornering a unique market on locally brewed beer, the owners are now opening a second space to put a spotlight on the talent found right here in the mountains.
We came up with a music venue, have pool tables here, ping pong, we're going to have arcade games, but it's just a large venue that people can still feel comfortable in, hang out, experience a good show.
The space officially opens tomorrow night as Nicholas Jamerson and the Morning Jays put the atmosphere to the test. In Pikeville, Buddy Forbes, WYMT Mountain News.
Tickets are still up for grabs for the show tomorrow. You can find a link to those on our website, and we'll have more about what the Great Hall has to offer coming up at 6. Get ready for sticker shock this winter if you use natural gas to heat your home. The Energy Information Administration says U.S. households that rely on natural gas for heating will spend an average of $746 to heat their homes this winter, up 30% from last winter. Of course, how much you pay also depends on how much you use. Analysts say a cold winter could result in those prices doubling from where they are today.
And we do have some chilly weather on the way, at least sometime in our 7-day forecast. We'll get to that a little bit later on. But first, out there right now, it's been a soggy one for many of us today. I-64 camera at Moorhead. You can see some of the raindrops on the camera lens there from the transportation cabinet. You can see what we're talking about, that overcast with us. Buffalo Mountain camera showing plenty of overcast here in Perry County, sitting, by the way, at a warm 68. You can see those trees moving. We have southerly breezes bringing up some warmer temperatures into some parts of the area. That 68 is the warm spot, not just in our area, but much of the state as well. Most of the rest of us are in low to mid 60s, even some middle 50s out there. Seeing a few showers, mostly concentrated toward the Big Sandy right now, but a few more pushing into the Kentucky River Valley, into Leslie, Harlan, over into Bell counties, as well as into parts of Owsley, Clay, and Knox counties as well, and some parts of southern Jackson County seeing some showers at this point. You can see the big swirl off to our west into parts of Missouri. That's where the rain is coming from, and that's what will continue to bring us rain chances as we head over the next 24 to 36 hours or so. So we're going to continue to see those showers into tonight, right around 50 for an overnight low, with some of that patchy fog as well. I'll have the latest on when the rain ends and when we could finally see some sunshine return coming up in just a little bit. Steve?
Evan, thank you. As younger children inch closer to being able to get vaccinated against COVID-19, the FDA is authorizing a fourth shot for moderately or severely immunocompromised individuals. Across the country, vaccine mandates are expanding, and so is the pushback from public employees. CBS's Michael George reports from New York, where city firefighters face a deadline to get their shots.
A show of force outside New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio's residence, Gracie Mansion, as thousands of first responders protest the requirement to get vaccinated.
This is our bodies, not yours. We worked through this pandemic over a year.
We are not anti-vaccine, we are anti-mandate.
Firefighters, police officers, and other city workers without a first shot by Friday will be put on unpaid leave, something union leaders say could put lives at risk.
If 30 to 40% of New York City firefighters are sent home, we will have to close houses. This is going to be a manufactured crisis.
The mayor is refusing to budge, arguing the city has a contingency plan.
We must stop COVID. And the way to do that is vaccination.
According to the National Fire Protection Association, last year was the deadliest year for firefighters since 9/11, and more than half of all line-of-duty deaths were caused by COVID.
I think there's been, misinformation and disinformation all over the place.
Maryland's Republican Governor Larry Hogan says his state is gearing up to vaccinate younger children and educate parents on the benefits.
I think we should encourage the parents to make those decisions and to get their kids vaccinated.
The FDA is expected to grant emergency use authorization for kid-sized doses of the Pfizer vaccine as soon as Friday, giving that age group access to shots as early as next Wednesday. The CDC is also recommending a fourth shot of Pfizer's vaccine or a half shot of Moderna's for people with suppressed immune systems, at least 6 months after getting their third dose. A recent study found immunocompromised people are almost 500 times more likely to be hospitalized or die from COVID-19. Michael George, CBS News, New York.
The CDC's guidance for a fourth shot does not apply to people who got the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. Russia is enacting a nationwide paid holiday to help curb COVID-19 cases. Moscow entered the period known as non-working days today, while the rest of the country will follow on Saturday. It comes as Russia is seeing a worsening COVID situation and will be accompanied by several COVID-19 restrictions meant to keep as many people at home as possible. There are questions of whether the move will be effective, as the streets of Moscow seemed as lively as ever earlier today, despite the changes. A new survey of more than 1,500 people found a majority of unvaccinated workers would rather quit their jobs than be ordered to get vaccinated. The Kaiser Family Foundation, a think tank concentrating on health issues, questioned more than 1,500 American adults in October. Of the unvaccinated, 37% said they would quit if they were forced to either get vaccinated or take weekly COVID tests. If their employer mandates vaccines and does not offer the testing option, 72% say they will quit. However, several major employers Employers have already imposed vaccine mandates and say nearly all of their workers ended up getting the vaccine. Coming up on First at 4, a new test looks at how 20 different SUVs perform in a side crash, and only one got a top grade.
And a soggy scene in the region right now. We will continue to see that over the next couple of days. I'll have all the details on the